All right, this is going to be Heartache Tonight by the Eagles. We're going to start out with this little riff here. So what that is this is part of a B flat chord. We got a 12 on the D string, 10 on the G string, 11 on the B string. We're going to go to those 10s on the same strings, which is the F chord. So it's B flat to F. And then we're going to switch to this other finger, hit the F to a C, which is 10 on the D, 9 on the G, 8 on the B. So we got. And then we have F sharp to G power chords. You could also do that here. So the big one would be 2 and 4 and an extra 4 if you want, up to the 3, 5, 5. The other one would be 4 on the D with 6 on the G, into the 5 and 7 there. So we got. Okay, and at that point we wait, there's some drums and vocals, and then we're gonna have a verse thing that's gonna go. So that's that F sharp to G in the higher octave there. So we got and E power chord. Back to the F sharp G and E again. F sharp G. Now we're gonna go B to C. So that's the 2nd fret of the 5th string with the 4th into the 3rd and 5th. Then we're going to come back higher. And now we're going to come from the C sharp into the D. So 4, 6 into 5, 7 on that A string bass. So let's look at all that again. We got. Like I say, we wait a while and then we're going to come in with verse. B to C. F sharp G, C sharp to D. Okay, so we're gonna get into a 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Now we're gonna get into one of these boogie things. Now a thing like that, you could do that up on the 8th fret, but we have to do this on the G anyway down here in this lower one, so we can't cheat that one. We could kind of like do it here if we wanted in the higher octave. But let's take a look at a couple different ways to do this thing. So we kind of come in with 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. And then we kind of have the and of that one. So that's the C note, 3rd fret of the A string. 3, 5, 3, 7, 3, 8, 3, 7. Now think about getting that 8 over here on this 3 down here. Okay, so it's able to be played kind of cleanly. You just make sure every string is kind of clear of that one. Make sure this ring finger is high enough. Now let's try it with the 8 as well. So, and you know, you can kind of cheat this one and not hold it there, so you don't have to do that maximum stretch. You can kind of let that one go free to get you up there. G. That'd be the other way. So here we're going to come back to the C. Whichever way you want to do it. Then we're going to go to the A. And then to the D. Back into those chords there. Okay, so let's look at this, what I call the boogie part. So once again, it was C, the G, back to C, A, D. Okay, and so each one of those notes that is the bass note is coming in as like the and right before the new measure. So it's like and 1 and 2, and this is in swing feels, so it's dum da dum da dum da dum. You can probably already obviously tell that, but we got and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. So you see that second note, 1. That is the first beat of the new measure. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 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 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. So see the A bass precedes the measure that it really carries over. And 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Same with the D. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Now when we come into this thing, we're gonna have the kind of honky tonky thing. So we're gonna have like this is gonna be like the second verse. So that's kind of a basic thing. Da-dum, da-dee. We got that 9th fret of the G there from our 5 and 7 G chord. Now we're gonna go 6 and 8 up on this A string bass. So we can go ba-dum, ba-bum, ba-bum. So it's like 1 and 2 and 3. So ba-dum, bass, bum, ba-bum. So we're gonna do that twice. Okay, then we move on to the next part of this verse 2. So we just slid from the B power chord into the C, continued our honky tonk. Okay, then we're gonna go back and then into the D. And then we get into the next verse. Back in the boogie thing. Now we're gonna have the chorus. Okay, so this one's gonna go longer. It's gonna have that 10 in it. To the C. And then we have this special one, 4 with 8 on the D string. So the 4, 7, 5 to 7. So this string goes deep, 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 kind of with the 4 and against it. So this chorus would be. Okay, then we're back to the G, to D, and G, twice. Okay, then we're back to the intro. Okay, now when we do this one, we're gonna go. So now when we get into this one, we're gonna go. Back to a verse. Boogie. Now we're gonna get into this chorus thing where we have. So at one point in the later chorus thing, you're gonna have one of these breaks that's gonna go like. Okay, and you're back to the. Intro chords. It's another spot you can do the F sharp. It's there close to your other riff. Got that big chord at the end. All right, so we're gonna do a little bit, let's do a review on that. So we got, and then our intro we had. Okay, when we get into the chorus, we're gonna have. Okay, so that's basically all your stuff. We got that one was. All right, we're gonna get into a little bit of Joe Walsh's slide in just a moment. All right, I'm gonna do some of my favorite slide riffs from Heartache Tonight. I'm not gonna do the whole thing. This is tuned to open E, so it's E, B, E, G sharp, B, and E. So it's gonna have kind of, the first thing is like a, so we got 10s here on the D and G strings, sliding to the 8s, and then jumping back to get the 10s on the A, D, and G strings. So then we have an 8 to 10 twice, kind of sliding back to the 10 on the D. That 8 to 10 was on the G, so we got. Okay, then later on you got one. Here's when it's getting into the chord changes there. They're changing it. We got 4 on the G to 5 to 5 on the E. And then we're gonna have the same type of thing, but 5th string, 9 to 10 to 10th fret of the G string. So. Okay, then he's got a riff that goes. So we got little 10, quick slide 10 to 8 on the 2nd string, kind of slide back in on the G string to the 10, and then hit the 10 on the D a couple times. And that riff goes twice in a row. So we have a riff that goes. So we got little 3, slide into the 1, and then 3 on the 2nd string, back to little 1. And then one more of those. And then slide into the 6 on the 2nd string, to the 8, to the 12, and kind of a backward slide into the 9 on the G string. Okay, then there's a little part we go. Doing the chord changes, you can get a bunch of 8s there. Down to those 5s. Those 5s can go up to the 10. Then we're gonna have a little thing towards the outro. We got 1. So it's like 1, 2, and a 3, and a 4, and 1. So 1. And that's 18th fret on the G string and B string. And then 15th. So 3, 4, 1. Okay, and then we have a cool high one we got. So this high one we got a little 18. And that was 2nd string, 20 to 18. 18 on the 3rd string, back to the little one, so. And then we're trying to go. This is 18 to 16, and then 15 on the G string. And then 15 on the D string. and that's followed by a 15 to 13 on the second string, and then 15, 15 on the next two strings, and then you got a chink, boom, chink, boom. That's your ending. So we got the 13s, and the 8s, and the 3s. So that last thing was like. All right, Heartache Tonight by the Eagles. I remember that one when I was a dishwasher. I was about 16. I was a dishwasher at Sneakers in Vegas, a sports bar. And they would play that song all the time when we were just getting off work. And I was like, this is good times. All right, peace out, y'all. Talk to you soon.